Hello and welcome to my Easter eggs and hidden detail series, where I only share Easter eggs and hidden details that have never appeared on this channel before. And if you want more videos like this every single week, make sure you're subscribed. Right, let's start with a game that I didn't expect to be talking about in 2026. You see, I was super hyped for Mafia 3 before its release. But when it did release, it just wasn't what I wanted from a Mafia game. Over the years, I have considered going back to it just to see if I judged it too harshly the first time around. But I've never gotten around to it because there's just so many games to play. Anyway, the reason I bring this up is that I think I found an Easter egg in Mafia 3 that I'm pretty sure I haven't seen covered anywhere else before. At this location on the map, you can find a lighthouse, because there's always a lighthouse, a man, and a city.
I understood that reference.
And if you climb the lighthouse stairs, you can find this. Now, bloodstains in a Mafia game aren't anything to write home about, but next to the bloodstain is this mask, which is pretty unusual. Well, I think that the lighthouse, the blood, and the mask are a reference to BioShock. Of course, BioShock 1 begins with a swim to a lighthouse. The splicers all wear a similar style of mask, and the blood, well, there's a lot of blood spilt in BioShock. Given that Mafia 3 and the BioShock games are published by 2K, I'm confident that this is a reference to the BioShock series. Well, it's either that or I'm just desperate for more BioShock. Now, I love Pragmata. I enjoy the demo and the full game is more of the same. Honestly, it feels like Capcom can do no wrong right now, and unlike other publishers, they don't seem to take forever to actually release a game. Now of course, Capcom are probably best known for the Resident Evil series, and you can find a couple of nods to the survival horror juggernaut in Pragmata. First up, when exploring the New York style city, which looks awesome by the way, you can see that this billboard was produced by A. Wesker Productions, which is of course a reference to everyone's favourite rookie-loving bad guy, Albert Wesker.
7 minutes. 7 minutes is all I can spare to play with you.
The other Resident Evil reference that I found so far is this. So this poster for something called Resident Devil 3 is a reference to not only Resident Evil 3, but also potentially Devil May Cry. I mean, given that both games are published by Capcom, that would make a lot of sense. I'm sure there's loads more to find in Pragmata, so if you find anything that I might be interested in, then please let me know. Now, despite apparently having too much cheese, well, according to IGN anyway, I'm loving Mouse P.I. for hire. Of course, it helps that it's full of Easter eggs, even if one of them is a contender for the most overused video game Easter egg of all time. During the Damp Evidence mission, you can find this. So it's another sword in a bonfire, which is a reference to the Dark Souls series. Honestly, I should probably be sick to death of this Easter egg by now, but it's like seeing an old friend every time I find one. Next up is a code that is definitely another overused Easter egg, but it's not the most overused Easter egg code in video games. Well, not yet anyway. During the Shrewd Shrews mission, you can find a door that's locked behind a 4-digit code. And you know what that means? That means trying this famous combination.
The true classic.
So even Jack acknowledges the history of the 0451 code, which has appeared in loads of games in the past. A shortened 451 code can also be used during the One Flu mission, which might be the first time that 451 has been referenced twice in the same game. Oh, and if you were wondering what the most overused code in video games is, that would probably be the Konami code. But 0451 is fast catching up. The next Mouse P.I. for hire Easter egg is brilliant. During the Glugging from the Deep mission, you can climb this ladder and jump this fence to get out of bounds. Now you might think that the developers weren't expecting this, but you'd be wrong.
You, what are you mousing around here for, huh? You shouldn't be here, damn it. Fucking gamers. Always squeezing in where the logic says back the F off. Just hold on a sec. Hey, no, not the flesh rubber, no. We have a situation now. Yeah, another one jump out of bounds. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that will take a lot of explaining. No, not the mirrors, the fucking level, eh? No dobra, kurde, bym się nie chce po angielsku. Weź daj znać Matowi. Nie temu Matowi, drugiemu. Ja wiem, no to trzeciemu. No. No. Dobra, ogarnę. Nara. Okay, listen up, you rascal. I'm going to open up a warp pipe, toss you some goodies, and you promise, to cut all that bullshit. We good? Good. Ta-ta.
So you can find a secret developer room, and after moaning about gamers constantly trying to get out of bounds, the developer will offer you a whole bunch of goodies, including this little jackdoll to leave the room and never come back. I know this might sound dumb, and obviously I'm biased, but I always think that when games add Easter eggs like this, it shows that they care. Now, a few weeks ago, we found Lemon in Poppy Playtime Chapter 4, and I had no idea why this talking lemon was a thing.
Limon! Limon! Lemon!
Well, in Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, you can once again find Lemon, and as you might expect, he is really well hidden at the top of this elevator shaft. Now, in Chapter 4, you found Lemon and that was it. That's where the story of our citrusy friend would end. Well, in Chapter 5, you can actually reunite Lemon with his family, and it's about as emotional as you would expect. So after reuniting Lemon with his family, a song by popular video game musician CG5 will play. You can also find a note in the lab explaining the reason behind Lemon's random appearances. Apparently someone keeps taking him from his family and hiding him around the factory, which isn't very nice. Oh, and that's not the only sign of Lemon in Chapter 5. You can find a Lemon plushie right here, and if you use your UV hand, you can find a couple of drawings of Lemon, with one being here and the other being here. Also, when using the UV hand, you can find this. So it's a message saying that Zeph was here, which is a reference to Poppy Playtime level designer Brandon Zeph. So this next Chapter 5 Easter egg is one of my favourite types of Easter egg. You see, it's one of those Easter eggs where you need to find and press buttons, and I don't know why, but I just love the simplicity of this type of Easter egg. I mean, saying that, the buttons that you need to press are actually pretty hard to find, with a couple in particular being ridiculously well hidden. But if you do manage to find and press all 5 buttons, this will happen.
It would take an extinction-level event to stop this late Cretaceous composer.
Now, if you've never played a Poppy Playtime game, you might be wondering who this is. I mean, even if you've played a Poppy Playtime game, you still might be wondering who this is, given how much screen time he was given in Chapter 4. You see, this is Pianosaurus, a character that was given a lot of screen time in the build-up to Chapter 4's release. This led to many people thinking that he would play a big part in Chapter 4, but spoiler alert, he didn't. In fact, he spent more time on screen in this Easter egg than he did in Chapter 4, which really annoyed Poppy Playtime fans. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think that this Easter egg is almost like a middle finger to fans of the series who really wanted to see more Pianosaurus. But I'm no Poppy Playtime expert, so what do I know? The other Chapter 5 Easter egg I found is this. Now, some of you may already know what this is, but if you don't, this is an iron lung. And the reason that it's in the factory is because it's a reference to the Markiplier movie of the same name. Now, to be super clear, I was actually sponsored to cover this next game on TikTok, and it was when playing it for that video that I realised just how cool this game is. And this time, they're not even paying me to say that. You see, Tide of Tomorrow is the latest game from the creators of Road 96. And much like that game, your choices really matter. What makes Tides of Tomorrow different to other choose-your-own-adventure type games is that you can actually follow in the footsteps of another real-world player. So you can see how they handled a situation and then choose how you want to approach it. What's cool is, NPCs will remember the person that came before you. So if the person you're following was a bit of an arse or was greedy and took loads of supplies, it's going to make things more difficult for you. It's a really clever system. And honestly, I enjoyed it enough that I wanted to feature it in a full video like this. Now, I said that Tides of Tomorrow was developed by the same team behind Road 96, and this next Easter egg references one of that game's most iconic characters. When visiting the nightclub, you can find this guy. So this man with the killer dance moves is a reference to the legendary dancing Carl from Road 96.
No one can really dance with me. I'm on another level. So knock yourself out. See what I mean about not being able to dance with me?
I mean, I'm just happy that people still remember Carl and his fantastic moves. The other Easter egg is gonna require a bigger boat. So this poster is an obvious reference to the iconic Jaws poster. I mean, I haven't actually seen any giant creatures in the game yet, so hopefully these things don't actually exist. Now, I love it when trailers carry over into games. What I mean by that is when something happens in a trailer and you find a reference to that in-game. I mean, I don't really watch trailers before a game launches, so there's probably loads out there that I've missed, but the one that I did notice in Ready or Not might just be one of the saddest examples I've ever found. At the fun fair, you can find this. So it's a dead body surrounded by a lot of dead bodies. What makes this guy so special? Well, take a look at the trailer for the Boiling Point DLC and you will have your answer.
Come on, Dad, come on!
Man, I used to love this place. Oh, hey, slow down, kiddo.
Dad, I want to go ride on the
No,
boat!
but you might not be tall enough for that
I'm so
one.
excited! Oh, sorry. Going
Sorry about that.
to the roller coaster.
Come on, kiddo, it's not that scary. Wait, look. Stay down.
So this man is the dad that was killed in the trailer. You can even find his camera nearby. Now you can't find his daughter, so hopefully she made it out. But you can find a teddy bear next to the man, which she presumably dropped. It's a really cool but really sad Easter egg. Though not quite as sad as Dead Island's trailer referencing Easter egg, which has to be the saddest of all time. The other Ready or Not Easter egg isn't sad. In fact, it's pretty funny. You see, at the police station you can find this poster which warns about the dangers of overdrinking. Now we've already covered the fact that the small print on this poster is hilarious, but what's funnier is the link itself. If you visit knowyourlimit.com, you'll be greeted by Lord Farquaad, who explains that the Ready or Not devs forgot to register the domain for themselves. So because they didn't, some random person did. Which is brilliant. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then a like is appreciated. If you're a fan of Easter eggs and secrets in games, then make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on so you never miss a video. Be sure to scan the QR code on screen now to get your gamer subs, even if you don't want to pay for them. And to be clear, I do get a small kickback, but even if you don't want to pay, grab yourself some free samples on me. Anyway, as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.